time, right? You're living it up. I don't care if it's a gay bar or not. People have a right to live and party and pop mollies. Damn it, you got a right to pop mollies in the back of the club. I don't recommend you do that, but I'm just saying, if you don't get caught, it's illegal in most states. You must know that. But hey, you're grown. You are grown. Do you? But you got a right to, I don't know, do what you want to do in the club within legal limits. You got a right to do that. And some psycho sicko that's got a problem with his own sexuality. I'm like, gay, I'm not gay. I'm gay, I'm not gay. I'm gay, I'm not gay. I'm gay, I'm not gay. I don't know how to deal with it, right? So this individual decides to go in and shoot a lot of folks. That makes you feel better. Your God is going to be happy now. It's deep. But I saw the sister, man, she is traumatized. You can see it all over her face, as anybody would be. And I would say she's like early 20s, if that. Yeah, early 20s, 21, 22, because she's in the club, so probably over 21. And she was just traumatized. And she was the young woman who yesterday I was reading from the transcripts, and she told reporters that while she was hiding in the bathroom, she heard the gunman, the shooter, Mr. Mateen, say, basically, black folks, I don't have a problem with you. But then there were some black people that got killed. Make up your damn mind. Damn. Can you be more consistent, please? That's all I'm asking for. But my point in bringing this up is that she was just traumatized. You could see it in her eyes. She had that, I don't know how you'd even describe that. It was like 1,000-yard stare. Like she's right there with you, but you can tell that inside of her brain, she's somewhere else. I hope all those individuals, those are all victims, even though they may not have been pierced by the shooter's bullets, or perhaps they're not on their way to the hospital. You know, you see something like that. It's one thing to hear shots ring out. Like, most people are used to that. Have you ever heard shots ring out in your neighborhood? Yeah. I mean, living in Cincinnati and different places, yeah, I've heard it many times. I've heard it when it was close, too. That's what's really just unnerving. But in a closed situation, and this guy locks the doors, he's barricaded in for hours and hours. I mean, that's like some psychological terror right there. That's some psychological terror. I wonder if it's going to do anything. Like, do you believe that, so this is the first weekend since you had that shooting. Do you believe that it's going to in any way impact, people's desire to get out, to mingle, to have a good time, to shop, to drink, to call Uber, to stumble home, to date, to mate, to relate? Do you believe that's going to have any impact whatsoever? Nathan Ivey with you. This is the Nathan Ivey Show.
I wish I was in school.
I wish I was in school.
I wish I was in school.
Summer isn't fun when you're hungry.
If only I had a big test today.
Or a book report to give. Give me a math quiz.
Give me some homework.
If your child relies on free school lunches, we can help provide them with free meals this summer.
I'll stay after class. I'll clean the chalkboard. I'll keep my desk real clean.
So they can stop worrying about food and start focusing on fun.
I'll do extra homework.
I'll clean the class pet's cage.
I'll skip recess.
School might end, but free lunches don't have to.
I wish I was in school.
I wish I was in school.
If your child relies on free school lunches, we can help provide them with free meals this summer. Visit feedingamerica.org/summer meals to find your local food bank for help. Once again, that's feedingamerica.org/summer meals. Together, we're feeding America. A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Debiste haberle lanzado 1000 pelotas para enseñarle cómo pegarle a la pelota y hacer una carrera. Infinidad de tardes enseñándole cómo pegarle justamente a la canasta. Infinidad de horas enseñándole cómo pegarle al balón de fútbol para meter un gol. Pero ¿cuánto tiempo te has pasado enseñándole a lo que no le debe pegar? Enseñarle a los niños que toda la violencia en contra de las mujeres es mala es una de las cosas más importantes que el hombre puede hacer. Aprende cómo empezar la conversación en teachearly.org. Un mensaje de Futures Without Violence y el Ad Council.
Now back to the show.
Oh, you don't speak Spanish? You better learn that, homie. You better learn it, homie. Because these cats are out here plotting. Isn't that what Denzel said at Training Day? Good morning, welcome back. This is a Big Tent show. English and non-English speaking listeners throughout the country. And I appreciate you. Better learn that, homie. Good morning. Today is Thursday, June 16th, 2016. Currently 7:25 a.m. in the Queen City. It feels so good to be back with you. And welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show. I'm reading a couple things. Number one, I'm reading that, there's a lot going on. I'm reading that the Port Authority is going to purchase the Cincinnati Gardens. I don't know how old you have to be to remember a time when the Cincinnati Gardens was like a focal point in the city. And I'm not trying to age you, but if you've got an opinion about it, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to read it. Send me a chat. Join the Chop Shop. And from what I'm understanding, they're going to demolish it. And I remember going to numerous things at the Cincinnati Gardens. Like, I believe I remember... Well, number one, I took little Buddha to a hockey game once. She was much younger. I doubt she even remembers. I barely remember. But we went to a hockey game, and it wasn't bad. I'm not saying I had a bad time. I believe I had a good time. And I was unaware of, like, the fan stuff they do, in between intermissions and things like that. So it was a good time. I think I can remember when I was younger going to something there. I'm not sure what it was, whether it was a circus or a rodeo or something like that. Yes, Chairman Mom once took me to the rodeo. Maybe that was downtown. But as I understand it, the plans are they're going to tear that down and then build something else that could bring more jobs. And the Port Authority is investing in the city of Cincinnati. Speaking of the Port Authority, I believe I read that they've got a new member of the Port Authority. That's a very powerful entity inside the city of Cincinnati. Very, very influential. And I believe the new member, I believe his name is Damon, I want to say Jones, I believe. And he's like a big-time communications executive over at P&G. But now there is a brother, I believe, on the Port Authority. I believe that's two African-Americans on the Port Authority. And, of course, their chairman is former mayor, I believe, Charlie Lukin. If I'm wrong on any of this, set me straight. That's what's happening around the city. Just a little bit of inside baseball, so to speak. I'm not even sure if that term's appropriate. If it's not, make it work. Make it work. Good morning and welcome back. But I'm reading that Barack Obama and other high-profile Democrats could be coming to Cincinnati next month for the NAACP National Convention. Okay, it's going to be in Cincinnati again this year. They were here 8 years ago. It's July 16th through July 20th. And that's right around the time when I'm getting a vasectomy, just so you know. It's expected to draw 10,000 people to Cincinnati. Then Senator Obama also appeared at the 2008 National Convention. That's what it said 8 years ago. And I remember it. I remember the excitement. I mean, there were so many people, primarily black people, but so many people in general who were excited back in 2008. You had this young, seemingly very bright and intelligent, he's on the way up, Senator Barack Obama. He's married to Michelle Obama. They've got children together, right? And it just all came together. And he became the president for 2 terms. But I remember standing on the square, downtown Cincinnati. And if you've never gone to our downtown Cincinnati, our square has come up. I might change a few things, but the square has come up. And above the square, and I'm not sure what direction, I want to say west, you can see like a huge Jumbotron. Now, I don't know if this is the Jumbotron like the Bengals, like this is like their hand-me-down Jumbotron. Because, contractually, if you live in Hamilton County, we got to pay for all the new technology for the Cincinnati Bengals, which makes no sense whatsoever. You got a county full of people struggling, working folks, working poor, food insecure, and we got to support some millionaires and the fact that they want a new TV for their palace. It's ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. I cannot speak enough about that. But anyway, that's what the deal is, folks. That's what the deal is. Good morning. Welcome back. Very interesting. Barack Obama. So I'm standing on the square. I look up, and he's in Cincinnati. And I wasn't inside the convention house. I mean, it was like Everybody and their mama and their sister, everyone was trying to be there. I mean, it was strictly VIPs. Who do you know? And I don't remember what my motivation was. I do remember broadcasting live for about 3 or 4 days from the convention center. And I'm working my hand to see if we can set that up again, because I would like to be at the NAACP convention. If you know the right person, send them my way. Tell them Nate wants to be there. But now Barack Obama may be coming back. And that'll be interesting. It'll be interesting, and then it'll be interesting to mark the passage of time. Okay, it's been 8 years. You were here in Cincinnati 8 years ago. How has Cincinnati changed? How have we benefited from the Obama administration 8 years later? And I'm fully aware that the Republican Party want to make sure that he had no impact whatsoever. I'm fully aware of that. Fully aware of that. I'm also reading more local news here to the region of Cincinnati. I'm also reading that opiate overdoses continue to rise around the region, especially in northern Kentucky, where the overdose death rate is up almost 17%. And this is a real epidemic. It's a real epidemic. And what needs to be done? I mean, what should be done to serve, to help, from a health perspective, those who are dealing with these type of deadly addictions? Why are there so many Americans addicted to substances? Have you ever stopped to ask yourself that? Why are there so many Americans who are addicted to substances, whether it be alcohol, whether it be marijuana? And before you say, you can't be addicted to marijuana, Nate, anybody, you can be addicted to sugar. There are people out there who are addicted to soda pop. I met a woman, very nice woman. Matter of fact, I worked for her many years ago. And her thing was she loved to drink, and she even might have been messing with that diet soda, quite honestly. And she had a little bit of weight on her. Okay? I mean, I'm not criticizing her because I got weight on me. Speaking of which, it's got to come off. Okay? And we'll talk about that. And she told me she used to enjoy the fizz as it went down her throat, right? And I'm like, I didn't understand that. It was the craziest thing to me. But what's my point in bringing that up? My point is that there is a lot of different things that human beings and the human brain and the human brain chemistry can become used to. You know what I'm saying? It can become like a chemical crutch. Whether it be people like Michael Jackson, Prince, Whitney Houston. I mean, and then here locally, you got all of these examples of these opioids overdoses. And it makes me wonder, what is it? I mean, are there folks out there trying to get us hooked? What? Are there folks out there trying to get us hooked on something? Think about it. It's deep. The state of Ohio now has more concealed carry permit holders than ever before. More than 500,000 Ohioans, or 4% of the state's population, could legally be packing at any given time. Ohio issued more than 35,000 such permits in the first 3 months of this year. In addition to the 500,000 Ohioans with guns possibly stuffed in their waistbands, the state recognizes about 12 million concealed carry licenses from other states as well. 12 million concealed and carry licenses from other states just in the state of Ohio. What are Ohioans so afraid of? What's been happening in Ohio that would make Ohioans so afraid? I mean, there haven't been any mass shootings. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You look at the news, you see all these killings, you feel insecure, you look at your wife, you look at your kids. If you're a single person living by yourself, you wonder, who's going to help me in a moment of crisis? What if somebody comes through my window? What if somebody's waiting for me? What if somebody tries to break down my door? And people say, I'm going to get a gun. Now you got a gun. In some cases, you got folks who've never had a gun before. They don't know how to use it. They don't know how to store the gun. If there's children around, that increases the likelihood that a child can get that weapon and do something god-awful acts